Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah, if you don't know who I am, and this is my little series that I'm calling Mother's Mysteries that I am continuing with this third installment. And because I've already gone a little bit over the history of Sophia and Gnosticism, a little bit in my other videos, I definitely want to flesh it out more. I thought it would be a good time to talk about something that's a little more practical. Something that people ask me all the time is, how can I interact with Sophia? How can I get to know Sophia for myself? And obviously when people ask me, I tell them, but I thought it'd be a good idea to do a video on it, especially because the last two videos, the first is a little bit about her story, and then the one after that is your involvement in it. And so now, I would like to give you exercises to attune yourself to her presence and be able to pick it up. As well as I'm going to finish with a Shamanic Journey, which is a guided meditation, but it's a journey because I take you places and I'm going to take you to meet her. I was getting some downloads about it already, and just, yeah, it's really cool. So to start, I just want to say you probably already are familiar with Sophia's energy and you just don't know it, especially if you have been in the law of attraction community like I have. I think it's like the gateway drug to all this. And spiritual kind of new age stuff. They talk about an infinite intelligence that permeates all things, or that the energy around us is all alive and pulsing, and wise, and that that energy, that presence that is so felt is Sophia. And it's actually because where we are is Earth. And if you've listened to my other couple episodes, you know that Earth, Gaia, is Sophia's material body. So the way that John Lamb Lash describes it, who, I mean, I talk about all the time, and if you're picking up what I'm putting down, definitely go listen to his stuff. Amazing. Anyways, he says that Sophia is the naked body of the earth. So we are inside the earth right now. Like, we're not underground. Maybe you are. But the atmosphere, the air all around us, that is still earth. It's like we're in Earth's skin. And we still have the atmosphere and stuff. So we are inside of Earth, breathing Earth, interacting with Earth, living from Earth. And that is Sophia's essence, right? Like it's the same. The way that helped me kind of orient this, and although I don't think it's the best description, but it's a good start, is that Sophia is like the higher self of Earth, in a sense. She's like but she's a lot more than that, but it's just a good kind of visual I found, and made me think, okay, yeah, like I'm in this material body too on Earth. Like, I'm not a planet, but I'm this human, and I know that I have a spirit, a soul, something else that is not just this body. So it's the same thing in a sense. It's just that the idea of Sophia is very complex and very big. Like I don't even know how else to describe it. It's just like a huge meta concept. But I find that that's probably the best way, if you're having a hard time orienting that in your brain. It's like the best way to think about it. And she is available to all of us. And she is inside all of us, which sounds so crazy, but your and my soul, that light is her. It is the organic light, is Sophia, is the same thing, which is why when we connect with her and we connect with the earth, it's like incredible synchronicity happens because we're actually syncing up to that which we're supposed to sync up with and what's natural for us. So yeah, I would say that if you're curious about Sophia and you want to have her in your life, learn her story and learn the story of the earth. John Lamlash is great for this. My first 2 episodes are a really good starting point for an orientation. But the more that you can come to learn about the earth and Mother Earth, like in that sense, Magna Mater, the Great Mother, those kinds of myths, stories, you'll start to like, the only word I can think of is like acclimatize. I don't even know if that's a word, acclimate, sorry, yourself to her. Like, it's almost like the concept of Sophia being a presence that we can interact with and we are actually meant to interact with is something that is so buried and far gone from mainstream thought, religion, everything like that, is that when you start to feel her presence, she's smart. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's not going to overwhelm you and just come and be like, boom, like, here I am. Like, no, everybody would get scared and like run away. And that's one of I have a lot of favorite things, but that's one of my favorite things about working with Sophia is that when you have those aha moments, it's going to be at the exact right time for you, at the exact right time, pace that you need to absorb it and to take it and to move forward with that information. And it's like, I don't know, there'll be some times where I'm like, oh, I already did that thing, or I already know that, and it's helping me do this, and I didn't even realize it. And then, it's just, now I can do this with this thing, and it's what I've always wanted to do. And, there's things like that get to happen because where Gaia is nature and nature is just naturally magical, Sophia can be thought of as supernature, which is here and it's real. Like, I don't care if you don't believe in ghosts or whatever, but I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, then you have some belief that there is something beyond what we can see. And that's supernatural. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but just to paraphrase, John Lamlash said at one point that the moving forward of humanity in the best way is about merging the paranormal psychic abilities that are natural to us, that were given to us and made for us by Sophia and Thelete, and that's in one of my older videos, paired with the supernatural psychic elements of the earth and where we live. So these kinds of connections, they may happen in meditation, they may happen in dreams, they may happen in hits of intuition, but it's all very, very natural. And this is what the ancients used to do. And this is why they valued women so much and why they valued the goddess and goddesses. And, the whole myth of Isis and Osiris is that Osiris is killed by his brother Set, cut up in a bunch of pieces, and Isis has to go find these pieces and she reassembles him physically, but not only that, she has to retrieve his soul, and that is supernatural. Like, just right away in that myth, like, we're already talking about she's in the astral, she's pulling him back to his body, and it's like it's like she was already there and ready for it. She already knew what to do. She was already like in the astrals, and she knew that she had to find him. Meanwhile, Osiris is like on some, trip, losing his soul from his body. And then, of course, as the story goes, Osiris is then reborn through Isis as Horus. So there's a lot to unpack in that myth, but basically this myth is honored, replicated when people do a rebirth ritual, which I don't know if it still happens. I'm assuming that it does, but it did happen in, like, not secret societies, but like Templars and stuff like that. They had a rebirth ritual where a man would be led by a woman, usually wearing red, and the man would go into a cave or like a tunnel, something really dark, and he would be alone there, and he would dissociate and be in the dark all night. And it was his job, and they would take like plant medicine or something for this too, and it was his job to find the organic light, which is the feminine, the Sophia presence, which is Isis and is every feminine archetype. And you had to find that. And once you did, and this is, I'm not sure about women going through this, but I know that this is more for, like, just for men. He would find it and then be reborn with the light, as illumined, shining, whatever, as having this organic light integrated into his body, and come up and face Venus, Venus rising, which is, another feminine archetype, and another shout out to Sophia and her entrance. And that's something else. That's like electric universe theory kind of stuff, which is really cool, because the Sophianic narrative, you can actually track it with science and the solar system changing, which is like, it's so crazy, because I got into this and I was like, oh, like, I love Sophia, I meet her in meditation and blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, whoa, like, she's literally plasma, but the plasma is alive and intelligent and exists on like every dimension that we exist, and we are free to interact with her. So yeah, but learning things like that, they start to kind of prime your memory of who she is, because it's like we have the receptors for her, and we are meant to interact on that level with nature and supernature. It's just that society says that it's not real, we don't need to do it, or, that every woman is a whore and blah, blah, blah. Like, they've tried so hard to keep Sophia from her people, but it doesn't work ever. So yeah, that's just a long-winded way of saying, knowing her story and knowing these kinds of divine feminine myths and things like that, they start to open up the doors for you to go through, and then to meet her presence in subtle ways that are meaningful for you. I have no idea how it's going to unfold for you. It unfolds differently for every single person. You might have dreams about her. You might just feel the presence of somebody named Sophia or Sophia, and you'll get curious, or maybe you're just seeing like a woman dressed in white all the time. Those are instances of her being like, hey, are you ready for me yet? Hey, are you ready? So yeah, learning the story of the earth, learning the story of Sophia, reading the Nag Hammadi is really good. It's kind of a mess, the book, because it's like different books and gospels left out from the Bible, like around that time. And there's some books that are like really confusing in there, but my favorite that I go back to all the time, because it's like the narrative from start to finish, literally like before the earth, and then it ends like kind of right now. Anyway, that's something else. But it is called On the Origin of the World. I'll put a link to it. And it's the second last book in there, I think, but it's really good. It's like, I mean, the English is kind of weird. You know how like even in the Bible too, like it's kind of like too many words or whatever. Like you kind of have to read it a bunch of times to actually understand. But even if you just read it once, you're going to be like, what? And also you're probably going to be like, wow, I've heard this plot in like every major movie that I've seen. Yeah, they take a lot of stuff from it and they just don't tell you where it's from. But yes, so that's enough blah blah. I would like to give you a couple of exercises. I just have it written down here so I don't forget, that are beneficial for attuning your field to hers, so you're not overwhelmed and reject it. So the first thing that I always recommend, that is easy to do all the time once you get the hang of it, especially if you're a visual person. I'm like hella visual. That's why I can take people to all these places. But I'll do this part in the guided meditation in just a couple minutes. But you can visualize a white light coming from way above you, like way above you. If you want to go all the way and see where it's coming from, it's going to come from the galactic core. This is the aeonic core. This is what the Gnostics called the pleroma. It is where the aeons live, where they reside. It's like, I don't even know. This is like, I'm still learning all this stuff too. But it is where Sophia comes from. And there are many aeons. I don't know if every center of every galaxy has its own group of aeons, or if this is just like a window into where the aeons are, and they have windows as each galaxy. I'm not sure. That's something I'm still exploring. But this place, like all the way up there, is where we were created. It is where she is from. It is where I think there's still a part of her. I'm not sure. Because she fell into her experiment and became the planet, but that was during a dream. Anyways, it's complicated. I'm still fleshing it out. But visualize a white light, and it can be white with like, I see it with like white and kind of like gold kind of shimmer. You could see it with white and like silver shimmer or a purple shimmer. Like it's going to be white, and then it can like sparkle different colors. And those colors are going to be useful for you whenever you're doing it. So if you see it kind of shimmer a different color, just go with it, because that is a new energy being installed. So visualize the white light coming all the way down into the crown of your head. You can see like a little door open there if you want, into the crown of your head. All through your body, visualize the white light. Visualize it coming out of your hands, like visualize it through your body. And then visualize it leaving your feet out of like little doors, or just coming out. Sorry, I have allergies. And then visualize the white light going into the ground beneath you and all the way down. I'm going to take you through this, but all the way down into the earth's core, and visualize it grounding into a crystal there, or into, you know, whatever you see in the core. I see it as a crystal. And I'll walk you through that too. So that is like, and if you can, then visualize also that white light coming back up from the earth into your feet, through your body, up out your head, and back up to where you can't even see. So what that does is it installs her frequency in your field in a way that once you do it, your system is kind of like, okay, that's calming, that's good, that feels natural, feels like it's good for me. And that it allows her then to come through in a way that's not going to overwhelm you, because it's her energy already and you've just kind of like expanded it in yourself. And it kind of exists right here anyways. This is something I've been playing with. I don't want to walk anybody through it yet because I'm still playing with it. But like, I've been working with Sophia and she lives like right here inside of me. Like, I've literally been, thinking of things or whatever. And then suddenly I get the intuition. It's like, no, come back here. Sophia is living inside my heart, inside the center of my body. And when I need to talk and find something out from her, I need to focus on this part, go in here. And she's just like this like light being, this light woman living in the cave of my heart. So that's cool. So when things like that happen, just go with it, because it, like, especially with Sophia, you can trust her and you can trust that she is going to bring you exactly what you need when you need it. And that's the power too also of the white light, is that it gets rid of anything else that is not of that frequency. It's actually very powerful. I use white light when I give Reiki, and then I have my clients say like, whoa, like you just blasted me with white light and I didn't even say anything, so that's really cool. Another thing that you can do is visualize coming from the earth in a sense, if you can, or doesn't matter where it comes from. But I kind of got this other part the other day. If you can visualize a blue, like an indigo blue phoenix bird, it doesn't have to look like a phoenix, it can just go like whoosh kind of situation, coming from the earth's core, and imagine it going through the back of your head and coming out through your third eye, and then going up to the aeonic core. Or if that kind of, the blown above thing is too much, just visualize a blue phoenix, like a darker blue, coming from your third eye. Just like see it. And that is the Sophia Phoenix. And if you follow me on Twitter or whatever, you've probably seen me talk about the Phoenix before. And there is like a whole paragraph on the Phoenix in that On the Origin of the World Nag Hammadi book. I really recommend reading that. It's pretty dense, but it's maybe like 10, 15 pages. It's not very long, but it's incredible. So it's a good attunement to her energy. You could also see it as a white bird, like a dove. I like the blue for the third eye. I find it pretty effective. Something else that you can do, and I really want to recommend this book, is read the Sophia Code. Sophia Code, whatever you want to call it. I say Sophia because of Phi. And I think it's really important to emphasize the golden ratio. And I didn't even know, and I have this tattoo of the Phi symbol. And that was before, I got that a long time ago. But it's funny how stuff like that works out. And it's one of those things where I was like, that was well in advance, Sophia. Touche. But yeah, this book is not it's not like a book about Sophia or anything. It is a very interactive live transmission. It's like a meditative book. You read, and as you're reading, these whole rituals are happening to you with different divine feminine representatives such as Isis, Kuan Yin, White Buffalo Calf Woman, Hathor. This book is awesome. It's like if you are having a hard time with visualizing, or you're just not finding that this is coming online for you, this book is really worth it. It is like just the words that she uses is incredible. And I found this book first, and then Sophia was like, listen girl, I'm gonna teach you. And I was like, okay. And then I found John Lamlash, and he said so much stuff that was like, you know, that goes well with this book. I was like, what? Really crazy. But yeah, so this book is really good. Also, just period asking for her presence. You could say something like, it is my intention, or I desire, like anything. You could be like, please, Sophia, show up in my life in a way that is meaningful for me, so that I may know and feel your presence and begin to work with it in a meaningful way. Something like that. As soon as you make those commands, like that's what she designed us for, is she gave us the creative ability to command what we want. She does it. We have the same thing. And her coming online for us is to teach us how to handle that, how to use that, so that we can actually move forward and become the next level human that we were designed to. And she just, you know, has to show us, I guess, because it didn't work before. Yes, just setting the intention. If you can't find the words, you can just take what I said, or you can write it down. Just write down her name, thinking of her name, of white light, things like that will just start to slowly attune you with her presence. And then you'll be like, do I hear her? And then she'll be like, yeah, you do. And then send you synchronicity after synchronicity. And you can ask, you can just say, hey, I'm having a hard time feeling your presence. Can you please show me something that is meaningful to me, which will be a synchronicity or something like that, to show that she's with you. You know, those are real things you can do. Somebody's calling me. But yeah, so I would like to get into the meditation now. I'm just going to take a drink. And I will say, and if you've watched any of my meditations before, you know this, like, don't look at me when I do these, because I'm like I get so creepy. Like my eyes just roll back. I start crying. It's really weird. I would just recommend that you close your eyes, because that's just much better for this. But I mean, if you want to watch me with my eyes roll back in my head, like, go ahead. But it's kind of freaky. Like if I watch it back, I'm like, I am gone. Like I'm just gone. Okay. So let's take a moment first to do some deep breaths. Breath work too is a connection to Sophia, because she's the breath of life, by the way. So we're going to do deep belly breaths. So what that means is, excuse me, sorry. I want you to expand your belly big when you breathe in, and I'm going to count with you. We're going to do counts of 4. Try to follow it as best as you can. Of 4 breathing in, 4 holding, and 4 letting go. And we're going to do it 4 times, because it's super relaxing. And from there, we're just going to go into it. So if you want to close your eyes now, go for it. Okay. So get comfortable. If you want to lie down, lie down. If you want to sit, go ahead. Good thing that happened now. I was so afraid that it was going to happen during the meditation. Packages. Okay. So get relaxed. Somewhere comfortable. Laying down if you like, sitting up if you'd like. And let's just take a moment to do some deep breaths. So breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 3, 4, and release. 2, Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release. Try to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, and release. Last one, breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 3, 4, and release. Okay. I want you to feel comfortable in where you are and just notice how your body is so relaxed now from those breaths. And I want you just to notice that from way, 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 way above you, from so far away you can't even see, I want you to notice that there is a beautiful white light coming down from the Aeonic core, from our galactic core, all the way down through the stars, through the planets above us, through space, until it finds Earth and reaches Earth and goes through Earth's atmosphere, through the sky above us, and the white light may be sparkling a certain color for you. I'm seeing it as white and gold. This white light that sparkles and glimmers comes down from the sky, all the way down, down, down into the roof of the building of wherever you're in, and continues to go down through the building until it reaches the crown of your head. And just notice that this beautiful white light finds a home in your crown. It's like it's meant to be here. I just want you to notice this beautiful sparkling white light reaches your brain, clears out any stress or tension in this area. And the white light continues down your head, relaxes your forehead, relaxes your temples. And the white light continues down your face and relaxes your jaw, relaxes your tongue, your teeth, relaxes your ears and clears anything here that needs to be cleared. And this white light travels down the back of your head, and just notice as it sits at the base of your head at the back and just clears anything here that needs to be cleared. And this white light continues to travel down your neck, relaxes your neck, goes down your shoulders, relaxes your shoulders. And this sparkling white light continues down your arms, your elbows, your forearms. And it reaches the palms of your hands. And just notice that this white light is supercharged in this area. And you may notice a blast of light coming from your palms or out of your fingers. And just know that this is perfect. And this white sparkling light continues to make its way down your chest, down your back, relaxing any tension here, and continues to travel down your abdomen, down your belly. And the white light reaches the bottom of your torso, your pelvic floor. This white light continues down your legs, relaxing you even further. And this white light reaches your knees, releasing any tension here, and continues down your shin and your calves. And just notice as this white light continues down, reaches your ankles and your feet. And notice here that similar to the palms on your hand, the white light, when it reaches your feet, has a really profound brightness to it, like a blast coming from your feet. And just watch as this white light then exits your feet, still pulsing through your entire body, still coming way from above the giant pillar. Just notice that this light exits your feet. You may see little doors here. Just notice that this white light goes down into the ground beneath you, wherever you are. And notice that this white light is continuing down even further. It goes down, down into the dirt beneath you, down further to the layers of rock and sediment. And this white light continues to go down into the earth. And you may find that this white light travels through underground lakes, underground caves, open spaces, and just follow this light as it continues to go down, 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 down into the earth until it finally reaches the earth's core. And I want you to notice that this light has been grounded. This beautiful white sparkling light has been grounded into the crystal that is here in the core of the earth. And I just want you to notice and bring your awareness to the fact that you are now inside of this crystal in the core of the earth. I want you to notice that your white light, white sparkling light is anchored here, and you are inside of it, inside of this crystal. And you may sit here for a moment and just absorb the feeling of this supercharged white light, of this crystal technology just going into every cell of your being, of your entire field, across all time, space, dimensions, and realities, just rejuvenating it with the Sophianic white light. And it feels so good, and it relaxes you even further. And as you're here, every cell of your body is absorbing this fresh light, this life. And as you're inside this crystal, I just want you to notice that there is a door in front of you on the wall of this crystal. And just notice that as you get up from wherever you are in this crystal and you walk over towards the door opens for you. And however the door looks is perfect for you. And as you walk over to the door, just notice that it becomes more and more open. And as you feel ready, step through this doorway. And perhaps you walk down a couple steps. Perhaps you walk right out. And notice that you walk out of the crystal and your feet land on sacred earth, on sacred dirt. And it feels so good for your feet. Like you were a kid and you used to play with mud and squish it between your toes. It's solid and it feels so good and so grounding. It feels so nourishing to your body and so relaxing. And just know that this is exactly where you're supposed to be right now in this moment. And I just want you to notice and perhaps take a look around. Just notice that you are in a giant cave in the center of the earth. This is Mama Gaia's sacred cave. This is a space you can come to anytime that you need and know that here is a safe space, a neutral ground of love for you and for your life to thrive. And as you notice that you're in this beautiful cave, I want you to also notice that there is a giant being who loves you, who's waiting for you to come over. This is Mama Gaia. And however you may see her, however she looks to you is totally perfect. She's very large. You may notice that she's blue and green, or maybe she looks like dirt in a way, like earth. And I just want you to notice that with each step that you take on this really grounding dirt in this sacred cave, each step that you take, just notice that Gaia is taking steps towards you at the same time. As you step towards her, she steps towards you, until you finally reach each other. And I just want you to take a moment and feel the immensity of her standing in front of you. She's so big, and she feels exactly like a mother, like somebody you know you can trust, somebody who you know that provides for you, always provides your life, provides your air, provides your food, your water. Everything comes from her. And she's just looking at you and beholding you with such love and such gratitude that you could be here in this exact moment to come and meet her, to have this relationship with her one-on-one. She's so happy that you're here. And I just want you to notice that she feels so loving towards you, and she pulls you into her embrace. And I want you to enjoy this hug from Gaia. Feel her arms around you. Feel her warmth, her presence. Maybe you feel her breath. Maybe you feel her heart pulsing with yours, beating together as one. And I just want you to notice how good this feels, how relaxing this feels, how right this feels for you. How much she loves you, how much she would take care of you no matter what. You can always come to her, and she will find a solution with you together. As she lets you go from her embrace, she keeps you very close, and she just wants you to know how proud she is of you for coming to this space, for having the courage to come down here, for having the courage to be vulnerable, for having the courage to want more life, to know that there is more life, to know that humanity can thrive. And it comes from having a relationship with that which sustains us. And she sustains us with her love. I just want you to notice now that however Gaia looks to you, you're starting to see a white light presence in the middle of her body. You're starting to notice that this white light is starting to emanate from her. Perhaps it's coming from her heart or somewhere else. And just notice that as you observe this white light gets stronger and stronger. And it starts to take the shape of the body of a woman. And just notice that as soon as you recognize that it is the body of a woman, this white light body jumps out from Gaia and stands right beside her and right in front of you. And just notice how luminous her body is, how beautiful, how interactive, how you can feel her and pulse with her. This is Sophia. Sophia is so happy that you're here and so excited that you could be with her and begin this journey with her and Gaia and humanity. And just notice her luminous white body standing in front of you, and she's standing beside Gaia. And notice now that she may have a jar, you may see a jar, you may not, but notice how she takes her luminous fingers and she runs it across your forehead. And notice now that she takes her fingers and she puts it on your third eye, anointing here with her sacred oil. And just watch as she puts a little bit on the top of your head, on your throat, on your heart space. She puts more in your abdomen, on your belly button, on your hips, on your hands and your feet. She's anointing you with her sacred oil. To be anointed by Sophia means to be attuned to her completely. Oil is liquid vibration. It is sacred and it is honored. And she is giving you this gift to have your endowment unlocked the way that it should be. And she wants you to know that she knows you. You cannot hide your desires from her because they are also her desires. You have these desires because she has these desires. They are one and the same. And that's why when you begin to work with Sophia and Gaia, you become more of yourself. You receive more of yourself every single moment, every single day in this work. I just want you to notice now that Sophia, right in front of you, is beholding you with such love, so much love, so much honor and beauty, and just admiring you for exactly who you are, because you are hers. The way that you see life, your gifts, your desires, your offerings here are exactly what she wants from you to express, to take place in her overall orchestra, to play your unique instrument, your specific sound that she needs to create the most beautiful show in the whole galaxy. And just notice that she may be holding you, she may be holding your shoulders, maybe she's speaking to you. And I want you now just to feel as she pulls you into her embrace, giving you a hug, a nourishing hug, like a hug from an infinite amount of mothers at the same time, in a way that is just so nourishing for your soul, in a way that feels like coming home. And I just want you to notice that as she does this, as she pulls you in, she becomes you. Notice that her luminous body merges with your body. And notice that now your body is coated with her luminosity. It's like a membrane around your body. And notice that this is her directing you, showing you how to have those desires that are in the deepest places of your heart become a reality. She wants to take the system that she's given you and show you how to really use it, to really create, to really have desires and get to live them. And it takes courage, it takes action, it takes being scared, but her membrane and her presence around you and inside of you lets you know that whatever decision you make is the right one, always. And it's just a matter of listening to your body and your heart for what you need to do, because that is her speaking to you directly. And just notice how good this feels. How it's like you had the space for it and you didn't know what to ask for, and she fills this space. Just take a moment and enjoy this. I want you to notice that now you still have her coating, her membrane, the Sophia membrane. You will always have it now that you have been attuned to it and anointed by her. And just notice that this membrane is still around your body, and it's like the division of a cell. She splits off again, back to her luminous body that you saw at first in front of you. Well, you still have her membrane. Notice that she is back in front of you again, and she's beside Gaia, and she loves you, and they both love you very much. And notice now that Sophia goes back inside of Gaia, and Gaia brings you into one last embrace, telling you how much she loves you, how proud she is of you for taking the chance to do something like this and allowing your life to change as a result. For trusting the earth, for trusting where you come from, for trusting Gaia, for trusting Sophia, for trusting yourself. Because that's what you're meant to do. And Gaia lets you go from her embrace. You may notice that she might give you a kiss on the head. Maybe she licks you like an animal. And notice now that she's walking with you back over to this crystal, to the door of the crystal where you first entered. And you feel the earth on your feet in this beautiful place. And Gaia wants you to know you can come back here whenever you need, either through this meditation or on your own. And she walks you over to the door in the crystal. She says she loves you. Sophia loves you. And that is all of the love in the galaxy, in the material world that we live in. It's all for you. And notice now that you're stepping again through this doorway into the crystal. And just notice that your white light energy that you grounded is still here. And when you step back into this crystal, the Sophia membrane gets another supercharge from this white Sophia light that you've already attuned to. And notice now that your energy goes back up this pillar of light, which stays grounded here in the core. And it goes up through underground caves, underground lakes, up through the layers of sediment, up through the dirt, and all the way up through just beneath you when you're back in your body. And just notice that this white light goes up again through your body and all the way up to where you can't see. It's above and below you always. I just want you to relax and come back to the body. Wiggle your toes, your hands, your body, and open your eyes when you feel ready. Oh my God, I'm like crying so much. There are so many tears. Wow, what a visual trip. That was super cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments or reach out to me in whatever way you want. I would love to hear how that was for you guys, because that was very immersive for me. Like, I don't know if you can see, I'm like literally crying. Like, I had like tears. Wow, that was really cool. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end it. I hope you enjoyed, and I would love to hear from you regarding anything like this, especially about the meditation. That was really cool. I love you. I'll talk to you guys later.